Hey guys, what's going on? My name is Aldas, and in today's video I'm going to be doing my review from race 5 of the 2019 W Series from Assen. Now in this video we're going to be taking a look at some of the big highlights throughout that race. We're going to talk about some of the big fights as well, not only the ones that were happening for the lead, but between the two championship leaders as well, because that has a massive impact on the title heading into the final race of the season in Brands Hatch. And at the end of the video we're also going to take a look at the driver standings as well to see how everything looks once again going into the final race of the season of the 2019 W Series. Now guys, if you do enjoy the content on my channel and want to support the channel, don't forget to drop a like, smash that subscribe button, and don't forget to check out my social medias. Instagram and Twitter will be above. And also guys, don't forget to check out my other race reviews from the 2019 W Series season so far. Anyway guys, let's get into it. So guys, it was Emma Kymäläinen who took her first win of the season in an incredible race. Of course, she started on pole position, but it definitely was not an easy lights the flag victory for her, that's for sure. But we're going to talk about her and Alice Powell, who finished in second. A little bit later, they had a brilliant battle. And someone else who had a brilliant battle was the third place finisher, Jamie Chadwick, completing the podium, and of course is the championship leader at the moment. She also had a very good battle with her championship rival, Behringer, for her home race, who finished in fourth. In fifth, we have Caitlin Wood, who had her best race of the season in Assen, and in 6th we have Gosia Radest with Jessica Hawkins in 7th and U-Phoria in 8th, with Marta Garcia, of course the driver who won last time out at the Norris Ring, finishing in 9th, and then to complete the points we have Sarah Moore in 10th. Now as far as the drivers out of the points, they are in 11th Esme Hawkey, Naomi Sheaf, Sabre Cook, Megan Gilks coming back into the W Series with Fabian Volvend and Shea Holbrook as the last of the finishers, with Tasmin Pepper and Miki Koyama, some of the most consistent drivers in the W Series, the only two non-finishers. Now guys, there is no better place to start than with Emma Kymäläinen, and wow, I mean what a performance by her, not only to put it on pole position but then to also take the race win. Now she really did have to fight for it because she had a bit of a poor start and actually let Alice Powell into the lead, and Alice actually led for most of the race, but Emma Kymäläinen clearly had just a little bit too much pace and eventually did a brilliant move, basically kind of scaring Alice Powell off the track, and after that, I mean she just flew away into the distance and finished the race almost 6 seconds ahead. And I think the story of Emma Kymäläinen's season is just amazing. You know, I sort of talked about it a little bit in my last race review for the Norris Ring, when she also had a really good result there coming back to the W Series, but just remembering what she's done this season. She didn't even do a lap of the first race of the season in Hockenheim. She had a collision with Megan Gilks and then had to miss on doctor's orders due to some injuries. So then coming back to the Norris Ring, back to the W Series, and now in the next race, pole position and then the win. I sort of repeat what I said in my previous race review, which is, what would her season be like if she didn't have that bad start in Hockenheim, if she was allowed to race in those other two races? I mean, in my opinion, she would be right up there, and I sort of feel a little bit validated, because I definitely knew that she was a fantastic driver, even in the last race, and this is just proving it, because, yeah, she did a brilliant job. I mean, just losing the lead at the start of the race, that's very disappointing, but she had the resilience and clearly had the speed to get it back, and yeah, it meant so much to her. I mean, you can see on the podium, even when the anthem was playing, she could not let go of her trophy. That was really good to see. She, you know, the rest of the drivers put the trophies down for the national anthem. She was just holding on to that trophy for dear life, so you can see how much it means to her. So yeah, a brilliant performance by Emma Kymäläinen, and now she's proved that not only is she a fantastic racing driver, but now a race winner as well. I'm really looking forward to see what she can do at Brands Hatch, and more than that, I cannot wait to see what she's going to be able to do in 2020 of the W Series. So yeah, once again, a fantastic display by Emma Kymäläinen, pole position and then the race win, thoroughly deserved, and just congratulations. But further down, arguably the battle that was even more intense was between Jamie Chadwick, who finished in 3rd, and Behringer in 4th. Now, talking about Behringer first, of course, this was her home Grand Prix, and I think she'll leave arguably a little bit frustrated and maybe a little bit annoyed that she did not maximise the weekend. I mean, at the start of the race, she got jumped by Caitlin Wood and had to take a few laps to get past her, but she did with a brilliant move, overtaking down the inside of one of the corners that was, to be honest, a corner that you can't really overtake on, so just out of nowhere, brilliant move, and then she was catching Jamie Chadwick for about 3 or 4 laps at about half a second a lap, so she really did have a lot of pace. But when it came down to try and overtake Jamie Chadwick, yeah, that was a completely different animal, and I think Jamie Chadwick, there's a very good reason why she's leading the championship, despite, you know, not winning perhaps every single race like everyone thought she would, and it's because she is such a consistent driver, and under pressure, Jamie Chadwick has not made a single mistake. We've already seen this season in races like Misano and Zolder, and now here at Assen, that Jamie Chadwick is unbelievable when she's under pressure. She does not crack. I mean, like today, she did not make a single mistake, not a single lock-up, didn't go wide at any of the corners. She just kept it absolutely calm, using her engineer's advice and using her experience to just keep going. You know, even though she didn't have the pace perhaps to beat Behringer, there was no way that Behringer was getting past Jamie. And yeah, and it just proves why she's at the top of the championship and why she clearly goes into her home race as the favourite. So yeah, a brilliant job by Jamie Chadwick, no doubt about that. And I mean, she's got the championship within her grasp. She is so laser focused, and you can see that by how many mistakes she's not making. She just does not crumble under pressure, and I think this championship is pretty much hers. I mean, it would take a Jamie Chadwick DNF and then for Behringer to have a fantastic race at Brands Hatch for her to lose the championship. So, you know, of course, never say never in motorsport, but I think Jamie Chadwick, from what I've seen this season so far, definitely deserves to be the champion. But once again, never say never. Now, there was also a lap 1 safety car caused by the collision between Tasmin Pepper and Miki Koyama. Now, the way it looked from the replays is that Tasmin Pepper actually got spun out initially by Marta Garcia, and then as everyone was flurrying around to not try and hit her, Miki Koyama I think just got caught up and did go into the side of Tasmin Pepper, and that was sadly the end of both of their races. Now, heading to the medical car, Koyama was touching her wrist quite a lot, and I think she might have sprained it or damaged it a little bit, so hopefully it is fine before Brands Hatch and she can take part in the final race of the season. But again, I mean, for these two, it will be a disappointing race to obviously DNF, but they've been very consistent this season. These were the only two drivers that did not get a podium but have scored points in every single race, obviously now except for this race. So that's why they'll be a little bit disappointed, but they're just below that sort of podium finishes of Behringer and Alice Powell, but nonetheless very good and solid midfield drivers, and I think they'll do much better next year when, you know, in the second year of W Series, I think they could be podium finishers. There's no doubt about that in my mind. But that did give the opportunity for some other drivers to score points with these two very consistent drivers out, and it was actually the first time since Hockenheim that both Caitlin Wood and Gosia Redest actually scored points, and Jessica Hawkins also scored her very first points of the season. So yeah, this is something those drivers will definitely want to continue in Brands Hatch. So guys, just before I do go, let's take a look at the driver standings now with only one more race to go, and of course it is Jamie Chadwick at the top with a 13-point lead over Behringer, with Marta Garcia in third and Alice Powell, after returning from a double DNF back-to-back, getting that podium. She is now in 4th place, and then amazingly, obviously, taking the win, Emma Kymäläinen in 5th there. I mean, a really good result. Once again, she's only really done 2 races, so to be in 5th after only 2 races, yeah, that's just, again, amazing. And that midfield battle is very tight with Miki Koyama, Sarah Moore, and Tasmin Pepper, only separated by 8 points, and then further down the field, again, it's just as tight with only 2 points, separating Caitlin Wood, Gosia Redest, and Sabre Cook, and so far it has only been Shea Holbrook who has raced in every single race, but so far has not scored any points, so she'll be hoping for her first points next time out in Brands Hatch. So guys, there you go. That is my race review from race 5 of the 2019 W Series from Assen. Now, it was, again, a really good race, really intriguing up front. We got a brand new winner and, you know, 4 different winners in 5 races. I mean, that is just really good to see. And to all those people that said Jamie Chadwick would dominate this series, she's so much better than everyone else, she'll win everything. Well, there you go, have that one. I mean, it's been so amazing, so many different stories, so many different personalities on the grid, and yeah, Emma Kymäläinen certainly deserves that win. But heading into the final round, making my predictions, to be honest, I think Jamie Chadwick will not only take the win, but also the first ever W Series Championship as well. Anyway guys, hopefully if you did enjoy this video, don't forget to drop a like, smash that subscribe button, and check out my social medias. Instagram and Twitter will be above. But anyway guys, that's it from me. I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.